Welcome guys to WDT 158. This is a consumable welding process lab. So we're going to jump right in. Consumable welding process is a process that uses consumables. So here at Drake, the three processes we have are GMAW, FCA, W, and GTAW. These are going to be our welding processes. Before we get into the different processes and what they mean, I'm going to give you a little overview of how the class is going to work. You'll have 10 modules in this course on Canvas. Each module will have a lecture like this, a simple quiz, and a discussion post related to whatever the lecture was. We will talk about the lab schedule because we will get to do some hands-on work in this class, and your lab schedule will be posted sometime in the following days. So that being said, we're going to jump into what these processes actually mean. So the first process we have here is GMAW, which is the gas metal arc welding process. Sometimes it's called MIG, sometimes it's called solid wire, some people call it wire welding. Proper name for it is GMAW, so that's what we will call it. GMAW is used in the aerospace industry, manufacturing industry, and construction industry. That's your three major industries in the welding world. Put an emphasis on aerospace and manufacturing, though. That's where it's really used. So, that being said, as you further your career here, if you're wanting to pursue a job in those industries, you need to get certified in this process. It can be used in the construction industry, it's just not as popular as some other processes. This is one of the easier processes to learn as a good beginner process. Now this is a beginner class, there might be beginners or advanced people in this class. It's a core class required for your degree here at Drake. So, that's pretty much got us on MIG. Like I said, we call it MIG, GMAW, aerospace manufacturing world. You want to get those certifications if you want to pursue a career in that field. Our next one is the flux core arc welding process, FCAW. All you're looking at for it might be flux. Used heavily in construction and manufacturing industry. Can be used in aerospace. It's one of the easier processes to learn. Pretty much the same as MIG, just a few differences. It might be just a little tougher than MIG to learn. Now, used in construction industry, they use it building buildings, pipelines. The manufacturing industry, it's used a lot building heavy equipment. Flux core is a really hot process. It's a high deposition rate, which means it puts a lot of weld in at a really quick time, so it's perfect for manufacturing. It's used rarely in the aerospace industry, but where it's used is when it comes to specialty metals like stainless steel. So it's quicker to weld with flux core welding on stainless steel if we're welding really thick stuff versus TIG welding on other processes. So it is used in aerospace here in town. The next process we have is GTAW, gas tungsten arc welding. This is sometimes called TIG. Old timers might call it heliarc because it used helium for a shielding gas at one time. Heavily used in aerospace and construction and can possibly be used in manufacturing. This is one of the tougher processes to learn because it's got a lot going on. Now aerospace, construction would be pipelines mostly, aerospace, all aspects of aerospace welding. Can be used in manufacturing, but it's a very precise process, it's a slower process. So it's not something we really think about building production parts, but some parts that are precise but are still made in production would be used with this process. So it's kind of an overview of those three processes. We're going to teach about all three of these throughout the semester. Typically what we would do is we would weld with all three of these processes through the semester. But since we have limited time this semester, we're going to let you guys pick and choose which process you want to focus on for the semester. We're going to learn about all of them through the theory, but we're actually going to weld with just one of them. And that'll come a little bit later on. Now, a consumable welding process means it has consumables. To give you an idea of some of the consumables we're going to use, we have contact tips, nozzles, liners, cups, collets. A consumable is anything that is used in the welding process that's being used up. It's made to wear out. This process, all three of them also use shielding gas. We're going to talk about those a little bit later on. So that's kind of the overview of the consumable welding process. Now, there's 4 different types of welding processes. You can do manual, semi-automatic, mechanized, or automated welding. What does that mean? So these processes, we'll give you an idea, are mostly semi-automatic. So your flux core and your GMAW are going to be semi-automatic processes because the gun feeds the wire into the weld for us. So those can be semi-automatic, they can be mechanized, attached to a machine that runs on a track and welds, or they can be automated, which means it's on a robot that controls all movement of the machine. TIG welding is considered a manual process because we actually physically add the filler wire to the funnel. It can be a semi-automatic process that has an automatic filler wire feeder. It can be mechanized in such as an orbital welder that welds pipe, which will be on a track that moves around the pipe. Not any automated with TIG welding. So that gives you an idea of what we're going to be doing, the 3 processes. We're looking forward to this semester, guys. Keep a watch on your canvas for different updates. Thanks.